If you click this video, you know that the 2026 World Cup is just around the corner and you have no clue what's going on. But that's exactly where I want you to be. Today, 48 countries compete over 104 games in 3 different countries of the United States, Canada, and Mexico for one trophy. This happens once every 4 years and the whole entire world goes crazy for this. But you have no clue what's going on, and that's perfect. Throughout this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how the tournament is played and how it works, who the favorites are, and you'll be able to stand your own in conversation with those who have watched the World Cup for many of years. This is On The Touchline. Let's dive into it. If you never understood the hype behind the World Cup, let me explain it to you. In America, the biggest sporting event is the Super Bowl, which draws in around 100 million viewers for it. But the World Cup final draws in around 1 billion viewers. Yeah, that's with the B, and that's one match of the tournament, not all 104 matches combined. So, you still have 103 other matches which draw in crazy amount of views. Now, why do 1 billion people across the world tune in for this one specific match? Well, because football is the world's sport. Every single country is competing for one trophy. It happens once every 4 years, so everyone is glued to their screens watching this one match in one tournament. This is because a kid in Argentina and a grandfather in Japan are living and dying in the same 90 minutes watching their countries compete against each other. For me, in American sports, I never got this feeling. But watching the World Cup, it draws me in so close that I feel every single kick of the ball. So now you know why the whole world stops for this one tournament. But there's 48 countries playing across 104 different games, so it is a ton to keep up with. But luckily for you, I will be here covering every single match and every single update on the tournament. So stay subscribed and I'll keep you updated in plain English so you can stay involved in the World Cup. Before any of this makes sense, we have to clear one thing up. These are countries competing against each other, not club teams. Think of it like the Olympics, where the United States versus Canada in a sport, not the New England Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons. So what does this mean? All players compete in their club teams for the entire year and have been competing with them for the past 4 years. This builds friendships with their teammates and starts rivalries with other teams. Now, the World Cup throws that out the window. People leave their club teams and go to play with their countries, with rivals becoming their new teammates and their ex-teammates becoming new rivals. This creates so much drama and so much interesting storylines. As well, the World Cup only happens once every 4 years. So, a player might only have 2 or 3 shots at winning the World Cup. This means that every single player will play their heart out every single game of the tournament, or even the group stage matches matter because one slip up can get you knocked out the tournament and you have to wait another 4 years to compete in the tournament. This is what makes it so exciting. If you learn one thing from this video, it's going to be how the tournament works. In plain English, this is how it works. 48 teams who qualified for the World Cup get split up into 12 groups of 4. In each group, each team plays each other one time for a total of 3 games. For a win, you get 3 points. For a draw, you get 1 point, and for a loss, you get 0 points. At the end of the 3 games, they add up everyone's scores and they see who moves on. The top 2 teams from each group move on to the round of 32 automatically. And the 8 best 3rd place teams across the tournament also move on to the round of 32. Now this is where the fun begins, the knockout rounds. First, we have the round of 32, which moves us to the round of 16, then the quarterfinals, then the semifinals, then the 2 last standing teams make it to the World Cup final. If you've ever watched March Madness, then you know how the knockout rounds work. If you don't show up playing your best game every single game, then you can go home, even the favorites. This makes it so every single match is exciting, with the smallest of teams can knock out the biggest of giants. This is where the upsets and heartbreak live. All in all, we have 104 matches over 39 days, so you're not going to run out of football anytime soon. Here's why the timing of you getting involved in the World Cup is actually perfect. This year, they've just introduced a new format where 48 teams are competing across 3 countries for the title. Previously, it was 32 teams competing across 1 country, but this year changed it. Now, it's happening in the United States, Mexico, and Canada for this World Cup across 16 cities. So there's a good chance there's a match near you can go and see in person. As well, if anyone tells you you should have been involved in the World Cup decades ago, just ignore them. This is the biggest World Cup the world's ever seen, and you're going to be a part of it. Now, let's talk about some of the history and context of the World Cup. Last World Cup, hosted in 2022 by Qatar, had Lionel Messi leading Argentina to win their 3rd World Cup. But this was Lionel Messi's first World Cup win, and it was really great for him. Lionel Messi has won every single football trophy imaginable except for the World Cup until he won it last World Cup. But this year will be his last World Cup, and can he get across the finish line and defend his championship? Or do we look at other legends like Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar Jr., who also will be in their last World Cup but have not led their country to a World Cup? They are hungry and they want this World Cup. Can they lead their country there? Or do we go even younger to an established player like Kylian Mbappe, who is as fast as a cheetah, can sprint down the field and score as many goals as you can think of? They've made it to 2 of the last 3 World Cups and have won 1 of them. Can he lead his team to a 3rd World Cup final and a 2nd World Cup victory? Or do we go even younger to Lamine Yamal in Spain, who's only 18 years old? He's been a football phenomenon recently, leading his country to the World Cup. And can he as well be the star that leads Spain to their 2nd World Cup in their history? We have to see. This is why the World Cup is so exciting. All the heartbreak, all the drama, all the excitement, all the storylines makes it the best tournament in the history of the world, and you're going to be involved in it. Now, we need to talk about the dark horses that can really upset some of the bigger teams. Like we mentioned earlier, if you have an off night, one of these smaller teams can knock you out and whole entire nations can go home crying. So first, we're going to look at Morocco. In the 2022 World Cup, they were the underdogs and no one wrote them to even make it to the quarterfinal. But they beat giant after giant after giant and then made it all the way to the World Cup semifinal. Yeah, the semifinal. This was a huge accomplishment for them, and since then, they've gone even better, so they are an upset team we have to look out for. As well this year, Norway has finally qualified for the World Cup after many decades of them not qualifying for it. And they have 2 important players for them this year, Erling Haaland and Odegaard. Both of these players are difference makers. So for me, in my personal pick, I would look out for Norway as they will most likely knock out some of the giants during this World Cup. So now for the most important part of the video. It's not covering the tactics or the rules or even who's playing in the tournament. It's choosing a storyline to follow. That's what truly gets you engaged the fastest and makes you love football. Like I've said earlier, there's so many different countries, so many different storylines and players to follow. But I just want you to choose one of these storylines. Follow it like it's your own team, and I guarantee you this will make you fall in love with the sport, and this month will be the best watching experience you've ever had. So now, your first step as a fan is to turn on the game. Today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, South Africa takes on Mexico. Turn on the game and just have fun watching it. This is what makes the World Cup so interesting. Even if you haven't decided your team or the storyline to follow, just turn it on. Because watching it, you'll start picking up on the storylines and the teams, and you can choose one just while watching it. This is what makes the World Cup so fun. This summer and this month, just turn on the games and watch it. This will turn your viewing experience into just, oh, another thing happening, to you engage with it completely, and you're going to have the best viewing experience of your life. Now you know how the World Cup works and what kind of storylines you need to follow. But how do you pick one team out of the 48? Well, stay tuned to the channel because we're going to be covering all the matches, and we're going to be telling you the storylines. So if you stay tuned, you'll be able to pick up on it very fast. This is On The Touchline. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next one.